NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Perlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Maxwell. Welcome to NHL Nightly. We have an occupancy Monday, but I'm burying the lead. We have our special guest, I think the best Islanders fan out there, Kim in the Crease, host, Isles Girl 3. Kim, joining us direct from the island. So glad to have you again, Kim. It's been a year. You've had a lot going on in your life. Congratulations. We talked about it before the show, but I'm so happy for you. The job, personal stuff, the journey. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you asking me to be on here, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's great. It's a long time coming. The chat's already buzzing. We already have 15 people in. Jordan Sunshine says hello. I think you probably know him. Jay, he has homework to do. Probably distressed about his Vegas Golden Knights.
You're gonna miss the
Lefty
playoffs.
Stegman. Thank you. They're not going to miss the playoffs, Jay. It's all good. It's all good. Let's see if we can let's make this a little bigger.
That looks cool. That looks better.
We have Rico, direct from Barrie, Perlo, direct from Edmonton, where they seem to cannot lose, and Occupancy from San Jose, California. So we got the four corners of the world. I'm coming from you live from Anchorage, Alaska. It's a balmy 2 degrees today. Finally getting some winter weather. Which has actually been fine. It's not bad. So really happy to have everybody. Let's get right into it, Kim. The last time we talked about, Lane Lambert was a little bit uninspiring. You got a new coach. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was sitting at work, actually, when everything went down, and my phone was, like, blowing up in my pocket, and I was like, why? Like, what would make my phone? And I was like, no. I was like thinking, what would make my phone blow up like this? What would be the? And I was like, no way. I was like, no way. It happened. I pulled out my phone. I pulled out my phone and I saw the Lane Lambert fire. I was like, it happened. But then the next words I see are Patrick Waugh. And I was like, what the fuck? I ran to the break room. Everyone's looking at me like, is she okay? I ran to the break room and I see Patrick Waugh hired as new head coach. That was not in the bingo card at all. But I was stoked. I mean, I was expecting Berube, but that, man, you know what? Screw it. That to me was a fire hiring.
Yeah, so I couldn't think I think it's the best hire of the year. I think Waugh was ready to be an NHL coach again. He's coming off in my opinion, an upset in the Memorial Cup with the Quebec Ramparts. If you listen to the Chicklets interview with his son-in-law couldn't say enough great things about how he's changed as a coach. Yeah. I think he's going to do wonders for the Islanders. And after Lou Lamoriello is gone, which I know it's largely speculated this could be his last year, I think that Waugh is going to be a huge bridge for the gap. I definitely want to hear from my other three co-hosts on their thoughts, but I think this is an incredible hire. I think of goalies like catchers in baseball. They know the game better than most, and I think Waugh is a borderline hockey genius, and I believe he's going to be wonderful for the Islanders and can't wait to see them back in where they belong at the top of the NHL. Go ahead, Rico. What are your thoughts?
Man, well, obviously Patrick Waugh wasn't going to Montreal or Colorado or any teams he was affiliated with before, not needing to coach in those teams, but that was a great move. And the first thing I thought of too is bringing in a voice there, because the Islanders have a lot of veteran players. I mean, they're not 39 and 40 years old either. I mean, they're still in their early 30s, but they got a lot of guys where if you bring in somebody, I think, with not a ton of experience, and you're trying to tell these veterans, how to cut, how to make this play and stuff in practice, like Patrick Waugh was yelling around there. If that guy's talking, you're going to listen. The guy's won everything in the league. I think he won a Jack Adams in 2014 even. So he wasn't just a guy parading behind the bench like Wayne Gretzky. This guy knows his stuff. He's a coach, and good on them, man. The Islanders are going to be a problem. I think him there, right where they are in the playoff standings, they're there with Devils, Washington, crawling up to Philly if they take a bad turn a little bit. I think he's a very motivating guy. He's going to get the most out of his players, and it's exciting, man. If you're an Isles fan, very exciting.
Go ahead, Perlo.
Yeah, like when they lost that game against Chicago, as you mentioned, I tweeted it out that I think it was over. And but I did not know that Wall was going to be the choice. I think it's the most interesting coaching choice that you could take. I mean, this is a guy who obviously showed in Colorado he had a brilliant mind. It's taken him a long time to mature as a human being. Obviously, he's done some things that have been, but whatever. But obviously, if Lamoriello thinks he has matured, he probably has matured. Like Lamoriello does not do things off the cuff. So this is going to be one of the most interesting hires I've seen. This might be one of the best moves Lamoriello has done in a long time. It might be. It has the potential to be one of the best moves he has done in a very long time. And I'm excited to see. You just got to be excited to see it because it's off the cuff. It's like you said, it was out of nowhere, Isles girl. Or like I didn't see it coming. Nobody saw it coming, and boom, you got Waugh in there, and you got Sorokin in there. You have the greatest goaltender possibly. You may say otherwise. I actually may not say that, but one of at least top 3 greatest goaltenders of all time. And you have a struggling Sorokin at the same time. You're telling me at the very least he's not going to be able to help that situation out? Like, I think it was I agree with all of you. It's more than likely a fantastic hiring, but it's even more so just a more fascinating hiring to see what's going to happen with this polarizing figure like Patrick Waugh there in the island. It's a great hiring. It's a fun hiring, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Just for some updates on goaltending and coming off of what you're saying, Varlamov's been hurt, so Sorokin's been playing so much. It's been a little rough on him, but especially with defense and turnovers. Waugh said in his opening interviews he's going to let goalie coaches be the goalie coaches. He's not going to get directly involved there. He's going to let them do their shtick, which I think is respectful to them. He said, if they come to me and ask me something, sure, I'll help out, but I'm going to let them do their shtick. That's what they're there for. He's going to focus as a head coach. But I mean, he's there. God forbid Sorokin wants to ask something, and obviously he's worked with Varlamov before, so he knows all about Varley. Also, Varlamov just came off IR today. Ken Appleby was sent down to the AHL. Varlamov is back, so we may see Sorokin get a break finally, but it's depending on what Waugh wants. And a big thing that it's been such a breath of fresh freaking air with press conferences because he tells us what he's working on with the boys, which is something we've been waiting for instead of just being like, yeah, they play great. He is talking about shots on net. I mean, that's the reason Sorokin's been so, it's been tough on him. He has the most shots on net in the entire league. He has most shots on him in the entire league. And last night they put up, I think, 41, 42 shots, something like that. And he said 17 were turnovers. He's like, that's something we're going to be working on, stopping those turnovers. You take away those turnovers, that's like 30-something shots, you know what I mean? So that's something he said that he's going to be working on with the guys. And he's going to help our goaltenders defensively, which is something we have been lacking. And getting rid of the Barry Trotz and Lane Lambert shell. And he says start breaking out and doing, these second attempts and second helps, which has been something I'm very excited for. Barzell said his puck possession plan has been a breath of fresh air to his ears. Like he said, it's music to my ears, he said in his press conference interview. So it's just like the players seem stoked about his ideas and what he wants to go forward with. Waugh said that he thinks that the players are all in on what he wants. So it seems that things are going to be clicking, and it's just going to take a little time for change to be going and happening here. I mean, I wasn't expecting a full new Islanders last night, but I wanted to see the big number one thing was would the team respond to him in the locker room? Because after that second period was all Dallas, and it was like watching the Lane Lambert team. And I said, when I go in that locker room, I said, here's the big thing between Lane and him. Lane, they come out in the third period and be like, we're done. Waugh, they came out, tied the game, and won. They came in there, he talked with them, he got through to them. That was the big thing I wanted to see changed. Did he have was he able to influence the team, something Lane never did, and he was able to do that, which was really. And just to give you a little stat here, going into the third period down in a game, the Islanders only won once to come back. We had only had one comeback win in half the season gone. So that was huge.
Yeah, I was going to say everything that you echoed. I had heard already from Thomas Hickey today on.
Oh, yes, I did hear that, yeah.
Yeah, Thomas Hickey said a lot of what you said about Waugh and the goaltending. We are forgetting, too, Varlamov had one of his best years when Waugh was the Avalanche coach. So it'll be great to get Varley back healthy for the Islanders. Tons of people to chat. It's already our biggest show to date since we started back up under this NHL Nightly format. Not a surprise. Kim is a legend on the internet. Before we get too far, and I want Occupancy to have a chance to ask you a little bit about the Islanders, or at least specifically the Waugh hire, and then we'll talk about some other things, because there's been a lot of great things to talk about with the Islanders this year. So I'd like to focus on some of the positives before we dive into the negatives, but this Waugh thing is huge. The link to Kim's channel is in the chat. Please click on her channel, and I'm assuming half of you are from her channel, but click on there and subscribe. So I really appreciate it. Gabby is saying real quick, wanted Waugh for the Sens. So did Nick Kiprios, by the way, Gabby. Would have been good big guns, the depth guys, most importantly, the second stars like Josh Norris, Drake Batherson. He's going to do a great job for the Islanders. Before I let Occupancy, I wanted to say one thing. Already, I think the creativity is going to be there. That bank pass off the boards from Barzal to Horvat to win the game was awesome. What a play. I hope this is the things to come that we get to see from the Islanders, but we will see Kim and all her gussied up freaking amazing Islanders fan garb going with her grandpa at the table and stuff. So
oh my god, we forgot to do it last night. we were talking about Waugh too much.
Yeah, I mean, I echo a lot what the panel said, and I think Isles Girls said it really well with breaking out of Lane's and Trotz's shell. I've been hearing a lot about this country club mentality, and I'm not sure exactly what it means, but I know it's there. And, looking at the hire, you kind of want to maybe look back and see what went wrong. Like, what were some of the defining moments that maybe led to this? And, the coaches can definitely affect certain things. They can't, go out there and play, but they can make personnel decisions. And I think that's one thing I noticed with Lane was that he would be putting, certain people on the first line, giving, Fashing and Holmstrom shots on the top two lines. And, if you look up and down the rosters, some coaches do that, but I think it's when you don't have maybe your big guns together. And that was the first thing with Waugh that I saw was Horvat, Barzal, and Lee, getting together on the top line.
To kind of defend him there, he just kept the lines of last game. He didn't change anything. He just copied and pasted Lane's lines from last game because he doesn't know them yet. He had less than 24 hours with them.
Throughout the season, Lane had put some other people on.
Oh no, anyway. I 100% agree with you there. That was
and that was just one thing. And I mean, I forget, it was the end of one game, and you had the Matt Martin line out too, and when he made that bad turnover, cost him 2 points, cost him 1 point. And again, I think Lane, he had his way, and maybe he thought that was the right line to have out. But again, Lane wasn't a bad coach. Even the players came out and said, this one's on us. It's not really him either. So, I don't want to take it away from him. We decided to move on, but, he was part of the Trotz era. And I think bringing in Waugh was absolutely the best call. I couldn't even imagine that. I did not think it was going to be him. And I think that it's going to spark the team up and down. I like how Waugh's committed to defense. I think that's important to me. Look at just, some of the stats on the Islanders from last year to this year. And last year it was the boring Islanders, the under team, and this year they're one of the most, big goal scoring over teams.
Top 10 power play too. Top 10 power play this year. That's great.
And listen, if you want them to, keep scoring, that's great. But I think they're going to find. I think they're going to meet somewhere in the middle, and I think that they're gonna, you know, work from the back up, and you know, I'm excited to see how they roll on. But I think they're gonna go on a streak here, and you know, bounce back up into the standings and become a competitive wild card team like they should be. And yeah,
hoping. I 100% agree with Lane. There was multiple things. I was ready for him to go in November. I mean, after that 7-game losing streak, I was ready for him to go. Again, with like line decisions, things like that. Oh, I want to see Holmstrom shooting more, so let's put him on the first line. That's not how you get him shooting more. Things that you have to. Chemistries that are working, and especially, yes, we lost Casey Zizekas. That was tough, but to move Barzal from Horvat, your first line, things that like a chemistry that you just saw last night clicked. The OT. Horvat did, called for that puck from Barzal. They have that connection. They can find each other. To break that up, though, because Barzal's an extra center. No, like use your brain. No, you say no. Things like that. It's just, there's so many things where Islanders fans were sitting looking at his decisions going, what is he thinking? Yeah. And like, I felt like some were like lucky wins, but then the losses started piling up again. I said January's looking a lot like November, because it was. And I said this is a repeat, and I guess Lou thought so too.
And you got to respect Lou, right? Because Lou said, he's not going to bring in anyone. Lou kind of waited to make this kind of move, and
this is a move I actually really respect Lou for doing. Yeah. And if there's someone who could get Patrick Waugh, it's definitely Lou. I mean, They have a history too. They even joked about in their press conference saying you can't talk about 2001. But
yeah, I mean, we may not get any trade deadline pieces knowing Lou, right? But the coach move here would. If we have a quiet deadline, I'm fine. How many quiet deadlines have we had over the years, right? So,
but Lou said, I respect this too. Where Lou says, I'm not going to make a trade at the deadline just to make a trade at the deadline. He goes, if there's something where I think it's going to be, a positive for us, something that's going to bolster us or have a move, I'll do it. And I respect that. Why trade something for the sake of trading it?
Why pick up Ryan Smith for 20 games, from Edmonton back then, right?
But yeah, it's just things like, and you know what? He did another move this year with the Riley signing, off the waivers, which I thought was another fantastic move by him. I've been loving Riley. I hope, as Waugh gets used to seeing this team more, he puts Riley back. But we'll see.
Hey, Occupancy, real quick, just for the show, because me and Perlo and Rico know Kim through Hot Take Hockey and through other things. Let her know your background, because even though you live in San Jose, California, you are from.
I am from Long Island. I'm a Northport Huntington. I played in the hockey team over there. Yeah, so 18 years. I think we moved out when you were around 18, 19 years old, but spent the whole childhood over there, and grew up going to the Coliseum.
Yep.
That was our thing, and I've been sticking with the team. Hofstra Radio has been part of my life for many years, listening to the broadcast. So, yeah.
And by the way, real quick, just to talk about Islanders broadcast, their TV broadcast is spectacular. One of the best, with Brendan Burke, Thomas Hickey. They are so good. Butch Goring, obviously the Hall of Famer. Nobody has heard of Butch Goring lately. He's been all over Twitter. What is your thoughts on the Biz versus Butch thing? And do you think I personally don't think it's that real coming from Biz. I think he's just having fun with it. But Butch is old school. He definitely thinks it's real. And I think he would chop Biz right in the throat. Although Biz is a big guy. I've met him in person. He's like 6'3". It's not small.
Here's the thing. Butch has cooked him. I mean, but he's been trying, but Butch has just kept cooking him, which is why we freaking love him. But with Biz, I mean, I think he is doing it. His whole job is to get clicks and things like that. His whole job is to get audience engagement, get people angry, because the more people angry, it's the wrong type of attention, but that's what Biz wants. This whole thing is a joke to him, just like his career, but that's his personal business. But with Biz, I don't care who you are. Any type of attention is attention, blah blah blah. But you disrespect a fan base, you disrespect a 4-time Stanley Cup legend when you can barely get a point during your fucking career. Sit the fuck down. I don't know, but just personally.
Yeah,
I love
Butch
that.
did win 4 Stanley Cups in a
I
row.
don't know if I disagree with you or agree with you, Isles Girl, but I love that opinion. Regardless of whether I agree with you, that was killer. that was awesome, man.
Yeah,
I wanted to mention
Bro.
one thing though. I wanted to mention one thing. There's another great coach who said what Patrick Waugh said himself. He said he's going to let the goalie coaches coach, and basically he's going to do what the goalie coaches tell him to do, and that's what an ex-goalie would do. But there's another one that does that, and everywhere he went, his goaltenders went off, and his name is Tortorella. Tortorella believes in that 100%. He believes that the goalie coaches coach. I do what they want. If they need my defense to do this, or they need this for my team to, everything revolves around the goaltender. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Patrick Waugh would say the very same thing. I'm going to rely on my goaltender coaches, and I'm going to give them exactly what they need. I just wanted to mention that because that's the reason why I think he's going to do so well there in the island.
Yeah.
But I loved what you just said there. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of negatives to say about the Islanders this year, Kim, and we could probably focus on that. But I wanted to talk about some of the good things. The power play being one, and the other is the play of Noah Dobson. It's a goddamn crime he's not an all-star this year. And I know that they just added 2 all-stars. Excuse me, I apologize.
Kyle Connor.
They added Kyle Connor and who was the other guy?
Trocheck.
Yeah, Trocheck. Rangers fans.
I knew in some capacity that the NHL would find a way to add one more Ranger in there. I freaking knew it. They would find a way. They had to have one more Ranger at the All-Star game in there. They always have to find a way.
Yeah, no, that's really disappointing. I would have loved to have seen Dobson get his love. He deserves it for sure. Real quick scoring update. Arizona just went up 2-1. We have a bunch of degenerate gamblers on this. Yes, I know. We always I
needed
I
Vegas
don't know
tonight though. They screwed us.
Yeah, well, but they boy, I'll tell you what. The New Jersey Devils made a mistake, and Perlo called this at the beginning of the year. They should have went out and got goalies because they almost choked this game. They were up 3-1. Then it was 4-3 Vegas. Then it was 5-3, and they were able to come back. But
they could still get Markstrom, but yet they didn't address the goalie issue early, which they should have.
We lost Jack Hughes and now have nothing.
I took Vegas in that game, so I'm a little disappointed. But yeah.
But yeah, no, like it's that was just tough because now they're tied with us with 51 points, which is like, thanks Vegas for nothing. But this is a kind of crippled Vegas team coming to us. They've been coming on with a string of lost streaks as well. They've been feeling the pain themselves, so this is definitely something where hopefully we can break out against them tomorrow.
They have a ton of injuries, and you're catching them on a back-to-back. It's going to be a very and then you got a day off with Waugh in between. So I'd say I like the Islanders tomorrow. I'm going to take that Waugh boost. I was listening to the Ice Guys today. The Thailanders are no more. So Kim, if you don't know, a lot of these guys, Perlo, Rico, and Occupancy, are diehard listeners of the Ice Guys, and they're on during the day when you're being a hero, first line nurse that you are. And I'm at home, enjoying slacking off. The Ice Guys do a great gambling show. It's new, I think it's like, what time is it Eastern, Rico? Tell everybody.
2:00 Eastern during the week and 12 noon Eastern on the weekends.
Yeah, they go live every day, and they talk about gambling. Well, the Thailanders was a big thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. You bet the draw. And I was going to wear my draw season shirt tonight, but I got shit on it because I'm a sloppy mess. That's why I have the beard now. It's to catch all the food and garbage. Anyway, it's just an absolute joke of a human being that I am. But anyway, yeah, exactly. Well, you saw the picture of me without. I sent you, and you're like, "Is that you without? Was that you without a beard?" I'm like, "Yes, it's me without a beard." You would not recognize me, would you? But anyway, so I have a bunch of degenerate gamblers on here with me, and I say degenerate in the nicest possible way. They're great human beings, and we just watch all the hockey all the time. Before we get off the rails, like I tend to do here, let's throw it back to Dobson and the play of this New York Islanders power play. How are you feeling? You've got to just be loving it.
I mean, the power play, we had the Thanos meme where it was like, we got the power play. What did it cost you? The PK. Like, it just went like kind of backwards. It just went backwards with our team, which is weird. We didn't have a chance to see it if Juan made any change to his last night because Dallas apparently played a perfect game. Going from there.
What do you mean? What do you mean, though? Dallas has actually been a very good team this year. I know if you haven't been watching them, but
no, it's not about their play. It's not about their play like that. It's about that they had no penalties last night.
Oh, yeah, and yeah.
We literally were sitting on top of our players during the play. There was just no calls. Hi, Courtney. There was literally no calls in the Islanders' way, like at all last night. So the fact that we were able to still rally and win last night is even more impressive to me. We had no power plays. They had three or four, I think, during that game. So the PK actually came through, which was awesome. Special teams came through for us. But going back into it with Dobson, I mean, defensively, here's the thing with him, like offensively, making the plays, doing the shots on net, his shot on net last night is the reason we tied the game. Because he, took that at the blue line, took the shot, went off Bashing's thigh and in. He's the reason, we tied that game. He's getting the assist. He's making things happen for this team. Dobson has been wonderful there. I think defensively, he hasn't been, he's made some plays where it's like, Dobson. But otherwise than that, I mean, he's been stellar. He's been really growing into himself. And, without someone, I feel like holding his hand, I would say. A lot of Dobson's earlier success, he was next to Zdeno Chara. And people give me shit about it, but I was like, listen, Zdeno was on the bench in his year helping him on that ice. But I feel like now he's in his own sphere. He knows himself as a player. He's growing that confidence, and it's starting to come out, the Noah Dobson we know, which has been spectacular. And someone beside him on the ice, too, which is so underrated, people don't talk about him enough, is Alexander Romanov. People are not giving him enough.
I was just going to mention him.
His confidence has grown even offensively. First goal last night was Alexander Romanov. My God, what a snipe. He has been using that snipe more often. He's got like those goals in the past, like previous games that have just been beautiful. He is so good defensively. I mean, this man will take a bullet for Sorokin. That's his guy. If you've seen their interactions off the ice, he was in an interview with the New York Islanders, like, what's your favorite movie? He had to say, like, he's like, I love watching movies with my wife and Sorokin. He goes, separately, not together. Like, just things like that. He loves Sorokin. He will take a bullet for this man. I've seen him block so many shots in front for Sorokin. So defensively, he's strong, and then he's gaining confidence offensively. I wish more people would put their eyes towards Noah Dobson and Romanov. And what's beautiful is that they're a pairing together. So they're just growing confidently together. That's been my favorite D pair this year. I'm sorry, but that was another W trade by Lou, in my opinion. That I believe he was so worth the first. Thank you, Habs fans.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would like that trade. Rico, go ahead and say what you were going to say about Romanov. What did you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the Islanders haven't played too bad defensively. I think it's just during the games they give the opponents pretty easy goals. Like, I think there's breakdowns during the game where the team just finds a goal out of nowhere and just through the neutral zone and stuff is created against the Islanders. But overall structure, top to bottom, I love the lineup in New York. If you think of those fringe playoff teams, I think New York Islanders is one of those teams where if they get into the playoffs, they're on upset alert, man. Because I think out of the Detroits, I don't trust them a ton. Even Washington, I think if the Islanders get in, I could see them upsetting somebody because they've done it before too. So.
And to piggyback on Rico, I mean, the Islanders play Boston and Pittsburgh very well. So if they end up matching up with them over, look at that head-to-head history there.
Not so much
Yeah.
this year with Penguins.
No, over the last few years. I mean, how many, Pittsburgh game, series did we take? Even we could play Boston pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's just the function. What he was talking about, what Rico was talking about. Yeah, absolutely agree. It's the structural, like, decomposition basically during like halfway through the game. Like, and this was something that was a problem with Lane. Number one, the loss of passion with the players. You can just tell that I don't know. They stopped skating. They stopped playing. There was a lack of jump in their step. And number two, they would go into what I call the pentagon. Some people call it the shell, something like that, where they get hemmed in their zone and they just stay in that formation. They stay in the pentagon. The only way they change is they dump it down the ice, hopefully not for an icing, and then next it would continue. It was like a circulation. They did it again last night against Dallas in the second period where they got destroyed. Honestly, we did miss a few open nets here and there, but like honestly, it was Dallas the whole way. But they get stuck in that structure, which is what I'm hoping Wah is able to change. But even last night in the first period, there was a different jump to their step. I've never seen Anders Lee. I've never seen Aho skate that hard. My God, like I've never seen some players skate as hard as they were last night. It was invigorating to me as a fan. Yes, they fell into some old habits, but hopefully old habits die hard here and was able to change. That's the big thing. I don't want to see the shell anymore. I want to see that obliterated, and I want to see them putting a full 60 minutes in. They weren't giving a full 60. Let's see if that changes.
Does anybody else want to talk about what Kim just talked about, specifics there, or ask her a question in that lines of regard?
Maybe she might agree with me here, and I think this is what maybe she's saying is, when I watched the Islanders, it looked like a team that was trying not to lose rather than trying to win.
Ooh, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that point of view. Absolutely. How many times we were ahead and then it's just like, oh, let's just protect the lead. I screamed about this on my podcast. It was always, oh, protect the lead. Again, what you said, try not to lose instead of let's just effing win this thing. And what is Wah all about? He's about winning, which is makes me so stoked. He's all about, you just got to win. And so, like, they would stop at, like, 3 or 4 goals thinking they're secure. And I'm like, no, keep going. Keep putting pucks in the net. Make it 10-1. I don't give a shit. There's no, nice award in the NHL. The nice award in the NHL is the Lady Bing. Oh, good, you didn't take penalties. But there's no award for being nice to other teams, keeping it to, like, a 3 lead. No, score 10. I don't give a shit. As long as you secure your lead, win.
Mm-hmm.
They stop shooting. They stop scoring. Keep it going.
I just wanted to throw up the lines here, and I was going to ask you a little bit about Engvall,
sure,
and what's going on there, and then if there was anybody. I mean, you mentioned Romanov, and we talked Dobson. Was there anybody else that you wanted to kind of highlight that maybe we're not talking enough about? Like, I hear in a good way Hudson Fasting a lot of times. I don't know how his play. If there's an unsung Islander, and I just wanted to throw up the current line so everybody could see. But is there somebody you wanted to say, hey, yeah, this you did mention Romanov, and that's plenty good enough. And then I was curious.
If you're going down the line, Hudson's Bashing always gives 100%. I don't have if I see Hudson in the lines, I'm like, cool. The reason he's there, Engvall's upper body day to day, so he hasn't been playing. He's just been, due to he's been out due to apparent injury. I'm not sure what it is. They, obviously don't disclose anything. So with Engvall, we don't know what's happening with him. Engvall's just kind of been like, I saw Stefan Rosner gave him like a C+ rating, which I could agree with. He's so built. The problem with him is that he's so built and he doesn't hit. And he skates and he's like, I call him wacky inflatable tube man, because that's how he like skates. That's how he puts out his arms. Like he's just like taffy. Like, bolster up. You got the freaking body. Check a guy. Like it's just like. He just goes he just pushes. I don't know. Like that's the problem.
I watched him for years in Toronto.
I want some physicality for him.
I think Leeds can. That was their big thing with Ingval, right? He was a giraffe out there.
No, we call him a giraffe too. Yeah, no. And going on from there, I mean, Nelson is Nelson. Although he's been kind of cold lately, although he has scored his good ones here and there. Like he's missed wide open nets recently. That's hurt my soul. Let's see, going down. Third line is third line.
Incredible last year.
No,
Brock Nelson had an incredible year last year, right?
He's still rocking, in my opinion. He's still rocking it. But yeah, no. Going down, Holmstrom and Pajot. They've had good chemistry. Still, just a little cold from them lately. Going down, people don't know about Kyle McLean. Obviously, he was a call-up from the AHL to replace Casey Cizikas. People don't know Kyle McLean through a hole in the wall. I know him, though, because I watched him in Bridgeport. I was watching them when Atu Ratu came, made me very interested, which, screw Canucks fans. But going on from there, Kyle McLean to me was a perfect Casey substitute. He's a guy who was 100, but he's like the Zach Parise of Casey Cizikas, 100% on the puck. He's actually a fantastic PKer. He's been such a so wonderful on that fourth line. He's been stopping, he's been making turnovers happen in the Islanders' favor. He's been making, helping Martin and Clutterbuck go up the ice. Do they keep it? That's up to them. But he's been making things happen. I feel like, you don't hear anything about him because, yeah, he's not scoring the goals, but he's just creating chances. And he's been honestly wonderful to me out there. I think he's been doing a fantastic job. He's a workhorse, honestly, as a player, and I've been enjoying watching him. Defensively, I told you about Romanov, Aho out there. I mean, Mike Riley has been fantastic for us. I think he's done very well. I want him back in the lineup over Bolduc. I love Bolduc, but I feel like he just gets very scared out there. He's very anxious. He's lacking confidence, and so he will easily throw the puck away. And just, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else, like any other players that I feel like have been like out there you should pay attention to. I mean, and Sorokin is Sorokin. Everyone knows about Sorokin.
I drafted him in my fantasy because I thought he was the best goalie last year and should have won the Vezina, but he struggled this year. Can you put your finger on one thing, or is it just the team as a whole hasn't played well defensively?
I mean, I said this, I remember years ago when we had the goaltending pair coming in of Leonard. We had when Leonard was coming in, it was right after we had Thomas Greiss and I believe Yaroslav Halak, and people were giving both of them such shit. And I said, here's the thing, they're taking 40-50 shots per night. How do you if you think about it, a regular goaltender takes 20 to 30 maybe per game, and so that when you have double the scoring chances, any goaltender is going to let in a few here and there, and definitely a lot of them are not his fault. A lot of them are not his fault. And, there's nothing you can do when you have double the scoring chances on you. You're going to have double the chances and double the goals possibly on you, why he's not doing as much. We were a defensive team last year. Like you said, we were the boring Islanders. We had the defensive structure people couldn't get through. It's going to be better for your goaltender. When you have better defense, you have just statistically a better goaltender. So when he's getting ripped 40 to 50 shots per night, Sorokin isn't going to be looking as good. But honestly, I feel like it's not on him. These goals, are not on him. They blame the second goal on Sorokin. He was screened, and it was a tip off of the skate in front. I mean, I'm not blaming Sorokin for any of this. If anyone's saying he's having a down year, well, I think our defense is having a down year. And so that's also impeding him as well.
Yeah. Somebody said Shannon Hogan.
Shannon Hogan is one of our TV hosts on MSG.
Yeah. My bad. Okay. Yep. I knew that. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I have to tell everybody that's not on Long Island. I don't think I said in. I think somebody else.
You said it right.
Yeah, I said on at the beginning of the show, and I know occupancy didn't fuck it up.
I hope not.
Yeah, he's from there. If you have ESPN Plus, for whatever reason, you do not get to watch pre and post game of any MSG show. MSG, for whatever reason, we can't watch pre and post game. So it's bullshit. They need to fix it because you used to be able to do it when you had the center ice package, and I could watch whatever feed I wanted, and I like to rotate unless it was like the Pittsburgh Penguins one, and I couldn't stand theirs, so I never listened to theirs. I have my reasons. I just so we do get the, I mean, the last Islanders sideline reporter I remember was Deb Placey. Love Deb. Shout out Deb. But I haven't gotten to see a lot of their stuff because if the Islanders are playing, I want to watch pre or post game. I've got to watch whoever they're playing. So so that's kind of brutal.
You're missing out on Thomas Hickey. His breakdowns are fantastic.
Yeah, he was. So we get to see him he's really good. I got to see him today on Daily Faceoff Morning Cup of Coffee with Kobe Coven and Johnny Lazarus. I know you know Johnny. He's from out that way, a big time Rangers fan. I know the Islanders and Rangers fans. I try to tell people I wanted to talk a little bit about this because we've got Rico here, who's a diehard Leafs fan, and Rico is not one of them. But a lot of the Leaf fans can't let go of this. Why do they hate John Tavares? I said, hey, first of all, a team may get a number 1 overall pick in their career once in their lifetime. We have 32 teams now. They have a right. And he said he was staying, basically, right? So
the biggest thing to me, though, was when he said in his press conference, just telling straight up, is when they asked him about it, he goes, well, I didn't want to take away from the team that was going to trade for me.
Yeah, no, I don't blame that. Happens,
that was sleazy in my. Oh, I don't want to take away from the team I'm going to. What?
Yeah, my thought on that is
he traded and decided, oh, I want to do that because I don't want to make because he knew it's the Leafs, obviously, but I don't want to take away from the Leafs because I'm going to them. Like, come on. But I have something before Rico.
My thought on that though is that the more you boo him now, it's kind of disrespectful to the players you have.
I don't know if he'll like this, but I got something for him.
Who cares? Who cares if he's gone now? You got a team now. Why would you boo him? Like you need him.
Well, I say this. I say this. If you're an Islanders fan, and Occupancy maybe could back me up on this one, don't you have the ultimate trump card if you're an Islanders fan? The Leafs have made it out of the first round one time with Tavares. Since he's been gone, they've been 2 conference finals.
Well, why do you want him? Why would you boo him? Who cares? You should be happy.
They're the best thing that ever happened to the Islanders is they got rid of him, in my opinion.
Just imagine if you paid that guy $10.5 million.
Rico's dying inside as I'm saying this as a Leafs fan. Oh, is that a London Knights jersey? Nice. Yeah. Is that who he played for?
No, it's just because we got one of our prospects on the team.
Okay.
I got George. I was thinking of maybe getting a Horvat too because he was on the London Knights as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, because I was like, my friend is a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan too, so he was up there. He has tickets for London. And I was like, yo, I need a jersey. He's like, I got you.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, nice.
93 is my favorite number of all time. So
got you.
Yeah, 9.3 is what the Leafs should be paying Marner his next contract.
What do you think about the Nylander contract?
He went to bed as soon as he signed it, and recently woke up a couple games ago and started putting points on the board. Got everybody in the Toronto Metro Toronto sports media squeezing a stick for him. Man, holy jeez!
Could not believe his contract. I was like, woo!
Yeah.
And the no movement.
314. My first Islanders jersey will be a number 22. One of the greatest goal scorers of all time, Mike Bossy. I wasn't old enough. I was old enough to see him play, but I was very young when the Islanders were winning games. So I wasn't cognizant, but incredible. If the guy didn't have back problems, he'd have 800 goals. I kind of think we're done with the Islanders, but I did want to talk today. There was some news about Devin Dubé stepping away from hockey for mental health reasons. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit because you've been really upfront about your own struggles. And I know that Robin Lehner will always be one of your favorite players and mine too, because of his, you have a few of his jerseys, just because of his, and it's so unfortunate we're probably not going to see him play in the NHL again, not because of mental health, but because of like hip problems and stuff. So would have loved to have seen him win a cup with Vegas this last year. Just a class guy. I just think it's such a cool thing now in the NHL where if you're having problems, you can step away. And before, these guys would just develop drug and alcohol problems and they'd become, really horrible stories. But now we're seeing a lot of these guys get help or take a break. And I just wanted a little bit of your thoughts on that. I just think it's actually kind of a breath of fresh air for the NHL to actually see that from these players. And the teams are all but like encouraging it, especially if they're having problems, and they're not playing well.
Absolutely. The fact that this is now, I think this is a huge step in the right direction. I think, a lot of players are, coming out and speaking their truths, Robin Leonard being one of them, is a result of this finally occurring. And I think those players, for their bravery and courage, stepping up and being able to say, listen, change needs to occur, because it's giving these players now the opportunity, and that they know it's okay to say, I need some help. It's okay to say, step away and be like, listen, I got to focus on me and, my personal health first, and then, come back to the game. That they have that opportunity. That wasn't an opportunity before. It was, you play or you're fired. You know what I mean? You have all this shit, deal with it. I don't care. You're playing. And that's not right. And it doesn't matter, any job, anything you're doing in life, that's never okay. And the fact that the players have this opportunity, they know they have this opportunity, and they can get the help they need, is just so refreshing. Everyone's a human being. At the end of the day, we talk about these players, you talk about gambling, like they're, bets or anything. No, like everyone's a human being. Doesn't matter who you are, what team, what crest you wear, you're a human being. You deserve to be treated like a human being. And these players need this help. And they're getting it now in the NHL, and it's so refreshing. You see someone step away, and I'm glad that they're getting the help they need, and I'm glad they had the courage to step up and say, hey, this is something I need for myself. So I'm really happy seeing that players are getting what they need.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Rico.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's probably one, and just came to my head here. That's probably one of the good things about the internet and social media and stuff as well too. I guess when somebody was going through this back in the day, like there wouldn't be an outlet. Maybe friends from afar that haven't seen you in a while, just personal contacts and stuff that now that this comes out might be able to be there for these people and stuff. So I think having an outlet like the internet and social media brings us to light, and I think that's one of the good signs or good parts of social media, I guess, is that it's an outlet and it lets people know that it's okay for a professional athlete to come out and, with mental health, and it's totally normal. Everybody goes through it. Even though you're not in the NHL, you could be going through the exact same thing somebody very successful could be going through. So, seeing outpouring of support and stuff for people, it just creates a good community on that side of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah, I love it. Does anybody else want to go ahead? Occupancy.
Yeah, real brief. I mean, I think this change and this outlet, like Rico's saying, with social media and is new. I mean, because I think even 5-10 years ago, it wasn't around. I mean, when Leonard, I don't know if they had the players, assistance program when he was around. Bobby Ryan's got issues, and then, you got to see Spencer Knight and Nichushkin now going in, and Sammy Girard on Colorado, and I just think it's in a little bit more of the public eye, like. But recently, like I don't even know if 2-3 seasons ago they really had this. So really just seeing how it's kind of coming to light like right around now and last couple of years is a great thing.
Yeah, as a guy who suffered from depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, thank goodness I had a supportive wife and supervisors that allowed me to get the help I needed, or I would not be here today. I don't think there's a question about it. So I love seeing it in other parts of the lexicon of our life, you will. And hockey is a really huge part of mine. I know it is of Kim's. It's definitely something that gives me a lot of joy and pain and suffering too. But once you, as I always tell my main man, John Viveros, our friend Hot Take Hockey, man, once you stop giving a shit, that's when your team wins. So it's like, so I had to, just for the record, and I don't think I've talked about it on this show that much since we've been going, but I had to stop watching hockey for a year. I watched the regular season and did not watch the playoffs. And ironically, that was the year my team won the Stanley Cup. So isn't that how it goes? But I needed it because it was not a positive for me anymore. And then I brought it back in and it became a positive again. And so, anyway, take that with what you will. We have a lot of viewers thanks to Kim and her. I think you're streaming this on your Instagram as well, or is that where I really appreciate it. Well, you know what? I know it's not. I'd like to get you on here once a year. That's always great. I mean, more is good. But as life goes, work, you're going to have some other things that happen in adulthood. This year, I celebrate 18 years of marriage with my wonderful wife.
Oh, congrats.
You can always talk to Perlo if we need marital advice. He's been married like 4 times. So Occupancy is married. You're recently married, are you not?
Ah, congratulations.
Yeah, yep, this summer. Yep.
Yeah, so he's real new. So you've got another person. Then Rico's like me. He's been with his gal since high school, and that's so awesome.
Awesome. We have in common.
How many years, Rico?
Oh, geez, like probably 25. We're 45 now, so yeah, we met. Yeah, it's been a long time. We're best friends, and we still are, and we love each other, and we have a great life, and our cats are our kids, and
I'm with my high school sweetheart, so that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's pretty awesome. So this is the time of the show, Kim, where we preview tomorrow's games and say who we like. I would love for you to stay on if you can't. You've already given us 52 minutes of your life, but you are the best. I love having you. I will get out to Long Island and see a game with you. That is a life goal. And I want it to be a Rangers game so I can bring my wife and then hopefully the Islanders kick their ass. And we can just rub it into your better half and my better half's face. Like, hey!
It gets fun when you go in person.
So for your fans, I'm a Washington Capitals fan. When my wife's team plays my team, we call it the Divorce Cup. So, and we don't take it seriously and honestly, but it is just a lot of fun for us, and it's just fun. So I'll let my wife's in the chat going, really, buddy. But you love my wife, Kim. She's awesome. She's an amazing person, and I'm very lucky to be with her, even though she's a lousy Rangers fan. Somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight. I love it. Okay, so let's preview the games tomorrow. And the first game right out of the chute, and this is why I wanted to do this, is big time Kim's Vegas Golden Knights. You said I could W that last time, and you were okay with it. And I'm gonna do it. Big time Kim's Vegas Golden Knights visit her New York Islanders on the island. Vegas is a plus 110 road dog. Ooh, but they're on a back-to-back. I like the Islanders. We're gonna have you go last, Kim. Rico, who do you like?
Well, first of all, if you've known a while back, you guys were Rangers and Capitals fan. You probably bought yourself the comfiest couch in the world. This thing's probably comfier than your bed, right? Anyway, I'll taking the Islanders. Playing better structurally, defensively under Patrick Roy is going to get these guys fired up, give them a little bit of a vision, what he wants from the team. A lot of guys are going to be inspired. You're going to see some Islanders like Paul Mary, some of the veterans and stuff, just start stepping it up a little bit more, and that top line is going to get going. They're going to limit the mistakes that are costing the team pucks that go in the back of that net, because Sorokin's a Vezina caliber goalie, and he's going to be playing like it from here on in, I think, from till the end of the year. Watch out for the Islanders. Dangerous, upset first round alert.
I hope they make the playoffs. This would be awesome. Perlo, who do you like, Vegas or Islanders? Oh, the over-under. I'm so sorry.
I always ride the new coach smell until it's gone. So I'm probably going to go with the Islanders on that one. As soon as you got a new coach, they tend to go on a run. You saw it with Minnesota. You've seen it with Edmonton. The only team that hasn't worked with was Ottawa, but Most of the time it does. So
Well, they got Shane Pinto back and they did that comeback win against the Flyers. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah. But I mean, it didn't work right away for Ottawa, but it worked for just about every other team that does it. So I'm going to keep on riding that. And I like you guys. I really like Waugh. So I think he's going to have them riled up. So I'm going to at least take Islanders first period for sure. I like Islanders first period for sure.
Occupancy.
Yeah, no disagreement here. I like the Islanders tomorrow night. I think anything minus 140 or better for them. I think we're going to get a back-to-back. So for Vegas, I think it's going to be Yuri Patera because if Hill is still out, I'm not sure if he's come back or not.
He is a questionable start for tomorrow.
Yeah,
so it will probably be Patera, yeah.
And if the betting market's here, it's Patera. Islanders is going to move down to minus 140, minus 145, and so if you know, looking at prices, but you know, I was going to look actually at the under 6 as well. You know, I think Waugh is preaching defense, and the under 6. I didn't go on it last game, but that's the way I was leaning. So let's look for an Islanders and an under tomorrow.
All right. Kim, who do you like? You're putting a bunch of money on Vegas at plus 110.
Who will I root for to win? I mean, I think everyone knows my pick. Just some things that I'm worried about. It's just that I'm always down for Waugh. I'm hoping he's able to give because you could see from the first game they were able to implement some of the things he was teaching in practice already. I'm just still concerned because it's still my Islanders. Old habits are gonna die hard, so it's just hoping they're up to the challenge. I mean, Vegas is still very skilled offensively. I feel like Jack Eichel is just gonna get a goal against us, man. Oh man.
So Jack Eichel's out. Jack Eichel's injured.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's out for week to week. He had surgery, lower body injury. Yeah,
I thought he's usually always the one to get the goal against us, so that kind of works.
He may not be back until the playoffs. Yeah, let me drop Perlo here until he comes back. So you can take the draw. You can take the draw. We got a lot. If you take the draw and go Tylander and say it, and by the draw, that's either somebody wins or loses in a shootout. We could go to overtime.
I mean, I could greatly see this going into OT. My team is that's our specialty. Is OT. I could easily see this going into an OT game, whether we're under or over, because the Islanders we still have to fix and fight with our structure. But I think Waugh is definitely the person to at least get us on the board with a W, 2 points. So we'll see for tomorrow. But I'm definitely going my Islanders all the way, and they're coming off of this back-to-back. They played a little extra due to their OT, so hopefully that works in our favor. And big question mark is going to be who's going to be in net. That is going to be the huge question mark to me.
Yeah, it sucks that Sorokin has had to go all these weeks in a row because of the injury to Varlamov.
He tied his record of most games in a row from I think his first season with us. I think it's 9 games in a row.
I heard an interesting. Sorry to pivot just a tiny bit real quick, but I heard an interesting quote from Saros and Burnett over in Nashville, and they were talking about Saros's workload, and he was saying he was fine with all the games, because not really doing the split with Lankinen, and so I wonder if because I'm worried about Sorokin's workload, obviously, but I just wonder if maybe these goalies are okay with the workload. I mean, I don't know. It's we're not in the locker room. We're not talking to the training staff. I mean, I'm not, but I don't know.
Sorokin's from Russia. He had to climb 3 dead hookers and walk through 8 miles of broken glass to get to practice when he played.
Did you see the clip of him and Shesterkin in the offseason, towing the car when they were running? Did you see? That was pretty badass.
Wait, dude, you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? Oh, I'm crushing fantasy. I'm playing Hot Take Hockey right now in fantasy. He's my matchup this week.
Are you in the YouTube league? Oh, you're in a different league. Oh, I played him last week.
I'm in first place. I'm 11-4 right now.
Water King asked a question about my beard. I always will accept questions about my beard. Water King, I spent 25 years in the military. I shaved every day. I stopped shaving. That's exactly what I do. I haven't shaved in 4 years.
Talking about heroes, there's one in front of you.
Oh, who's that? Oh, me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm always very reluctant to get the praise for being in the military. It's weird. We're gonna move on to the next game, because I think we beat the Islanders. Awesome, great job, guys. Hopefully we get Perlo back here, but no worries. That would be the Washington Capitals, a road dog to the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota, plus 136 road dog. And the over-under in that game is 6. I definitely like the under because the Capitals cannot score. Oh, we have our main man Perlo back. Let's get him back in here.
Good.
What happened to your camera, dude? You were beautiful, and now I can't see you.
I told you. That's why I went out.
What?
That's why I went out, because my freaking light shut off and it won't start again. So we're gonna have to go in the dark for the rest of the time.
Oh, okay, no worries. Oh, you looked so good tonight, Perlo. I have to tell you looked great.
You're the only human being that ever says that to me, so I love you for that. But
you looked great, man. You looked handsome, man. I appreciate it. And you could see Perlo works for the mob in Edmonton, so he's been lifting dead bodies out of trucks, and he's just getting in great shape. That's what me and Rico like to carry on that. That's not true. He works at freight.
Doing some trailers.
Yeah.
He unloads trailers, but he doesn't know what he unloads. So
I have no idea what it is. Nobody tells me.
I'm gonna go. We'll just go across the board. I only wanted Kim to go last just for the Islanders thing, so we'll just go across the board. I'm gonna take the Caps at the plus money and the under. Kim, what do you like?
This is tough. I mean, Metro Division, I want Minnesota to win. I feel like Minnesota's just been hot lately, in my opinion. And I'm going to go Minnesota on this. I feel like, yes, they have like a less, their record is less, but I mean, with, Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek's been the one to watch. He's been gaining points left and right. And I mean, they got Kaprizov. I know, Oshie, but oh my God, Ovechkin. Ovechkin and Oshie are both hot. I mean, these are two closely matched teams. They still got Fleury in net, right? It's still just Fleury.
No, he's injured. He got hurt in that play. So Gustafsson. Yeah, a couple games ago, he got guy fell into it. The guy got suspended 3 games for whatever he did to him. I'm sorry, I can't think of it.
I did see that. I didn't know Fleury got hurt off that.
Yeah, but Gustafsson had a great game the last game he played for.
Yeah, because then it would be I can't say names. Gustafsson and net versus what? Kemper?
I'm going to guess it will be Darcy. Yeah, Lockwood was the guy. David Ovechkin is not out. He's on like a 6-game point streak. He's back in, but he hasn't been scoring. He's just been getting like primary assists. Lockwood was the guy that fell into.
I'm feeling the Wild on this, though. I'm feeling the Wild.
Okay, you like the Wild. Okay. Rico, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I know Minnesota just coming off a little bit of a road trip, 4th game in 6 nights. I know they've been playing well, but they got to try and bank points at home. But Washington, I like what you're saying. I like the under, maybe a draw, depending on the price. I don't know if I'd pay it for Minnesota because Washington could just go in there and kind of clip them. But I'm on potentially the draw and the under right now. But I'll take a look closer to game time, like who's starting, who's in, who's out. But
yeah, it'll definitely be Kemper because the last game, I think 2 games in a row, it's been Charlie Wingren, as we like to call him in Caps Nation. But yeah, and he's been unbelievable, top 5 goalie this year in the NHL. So, but Gustafsson was great last year, but he's finding his game again. IceX likes the Caps. Occupancy, go ahead and we'll just go in a circle for these last because we only have 9 games. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. I was just looking at form. Minnesota just went through the gauntlet of the South and picked up 4 points, which is pretty impressive in 3 games. They got crushed by Tampa, came in, beat a tough, struggling Florida team, but still win, and then surprised everyone on Sunday. Wow, with that Carolina victory there.
That was a big one.
Yeah, so, Kaprizov's back hot. The thing with Gustafsson, too, is, he was struggling early on. but he was great last year, if you guys remember. I mean, if everyone remembers,
incredible. I had him in fantasy.
Yeah, but then this year, something's changed, and so but I think it's a little expensive for me, a minus 160, to pay for Minnesota outright. Washington, on the other hand, they split 1-1 with the Rangers, and then they took care of. Well, they actually split 1-1 with the Blues, and then won that 2-0 game with the Ducks. So let's go for an under. I mean, I think it'd have to be a dog and under kind of split. If I had to pick a side, some of these old school handicappers, they have these angles, and they look at these things over the years and years where teams coming off a road trip, the first home game sometimes is a dud. So it'd have to be dog or pass for me.
Before we go to Perlo, KP wants to thank you for coming on. I texted you that little picture of him leaning on the couch like he's a person, and he just says thanks. All right, Capes, get out of here. Go ahead, Perlo. Who do you like, Caps Wild?
Yeah, at the moment, I just can't deny the energy of the Wild. This team just seems like crazy energized ever since they got their players back. Gustafsson had a good outing there. And looked really solid his last outing. So coming off an injury, that might show that was the problem. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota in regulation here. And I normally don't do that. Like occupancy brings up a good point when you're coming off of a road trip like that. Normally you don't do that, but their energy is too strong. I don't know if Washington's going to be able to keep up with them if they keep on playing the way they are right now. So I'm going to take Minnesota in regulation for now. Probably not going to put a lot on it because it's not a great spot for Minnesota, but I just love their energy right now. So I'm going to go with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And confidence coming off those wins against Florida and Carolina. Man, they're all of a sudden Washington's coming to town. It's like,
yeah,
we should be able to
could be a letdown spot because Washington, but I don't think too many teams think Washington is a letdown spot, even though people in the general diehards will say that Washington isn't that great of a team right now. Their record looks good, so I don't really call it a letdown spot. So I like Minnesota.
They got a lot of veterans on that Washington team, and TJ Oshie's been playing well since he came back. So they're not going to be an easy game. They got too much pride, too many vets on that team that they're not.
Yeah.
They're going to show up.
Yeah.
That Pacioretty Oshie has. Oh, go ahead, Kim. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Oshie has eight points in the last 5 games. He's been hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is gelling. I don't know if he played with Max Pacioretty in the U.S. when they got together, but they've been gelling. That line has been incredible. I'm obviously I already picked mine, but we'll go to the next game. I've got Blues at Flames. Oh, hold on, I missed it. I missed a whole set of early games, didn't I, guys?
You went straight to the island. You went straight to the island.
Well, we wanted to start with Kim's game anyway, so let's just go to Blues Flames, and then I'll jump back to the Eastern Conference games. But Blues Flames. Blues are a plus 140 road dog. They're playing pretty well too. And the over under in that game is, I very much apologize, 6. I like the under. That's my pick. Go ahead, Kim. Oh, go ahead, Rico.
Looking at it first, I think Calgary, they lost a couple in a row. They've been at home for a bit. Both of them are on regular rest. This isn't a St. Louis spot. Usually if St. Louis is in a spot, I'll take them. But at that first look, I'll take Calgary. 6-4 in their last 10. They're playing a little better and getting closer to the All-Star break. I mean, being at home, I like Calgary at first look. So without taking a deeper dive into it.
We'll do that tomorrow. Be looking for our Twitter talk tomorrow because we'll be talking about this deeper. Sure.
Or you can find you guys in the chat, right? Of the Ice Guys. We're definitely going to promote the Ice Guys. They're great dudes.
Yeah.
Ian Cameron and Alex B. Smith. Alex was right today on the Bruins over the Jets. They whooped the Jets' ass. The Jets are missing Scheifele, but boy, the Bruins are better than people think. And rumor is Bergeron might come back By the way, the Coyotes are up 4-2 on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Boy, that is beautiful.
Yeah. We had the Yotes tonight, had the Bruins tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, St. Louis,
Calgary, like Flames or Blues?
My first glance on this one is a pass on the side here. I mean, both teams kind of, splitting. Yeah, splitting form right now, and just.
They're both 500 teams, and they're basically both at a 500 record. Blues are 22 and 22.
Kind of seems like a toss-up.
Yeah,
type
Flames
game
are 21
here.
and 20. Yeah,
we don't have to bet every game, So
that's the right answer. I love it. Yep. Perlo.
If I have to take a side here, I say Calgary. I think they gave up the ghost when they lost to Edmonton. Honestly, that was like the big game. They lost to Edmonton. They see the finish line in front of them where everybody's going to leave. And St. Louis, to me, feels like they still have some pulse. So, I mean, if I had to, I think St. Louis would be the dog here. So I'd probably take St. Louis as a dog. And maybe a little on the draw, but I really think
St. Louis is a plus 140 road dog.
Yeah, plus 140, I'm taking St. Louis. I think Calgary could just really be depressed coming into this game. And I think St. Louis might actually, their coach might be able to get them to believe they have a pulse. So plus 140, I'll take St. Louis.
Tim, you got a pick in this one? You don't have to have a pick for every game. So.
Oh yeah, sorry, my mic, I have this glitch sometimes at where I can't hear you guys, so I had to go fix that. But I was gonna go Calgary on this one. I feel like the Blues are just so damn inconsistent to me. Like one night they'll just be on fire, and the next they're just a complete mess. I just feel like maybe Calgary is the team that has a little more consistency. Going into this game a little with an upset, but I feel like they're the ones that get to take control. I feel like this is gonna be a Calgary game.
The Blues are kind of the team that's split right in the middle of the United States. It seemed to get put in spots. It's like when the Rangers showed up there. We knew St. Louis, it was a great spot for them, and they won that game. It feels like St. Louis gets put in spots more than any other team in the league, and they could beat anybody on any given night and lose to anybody on any given night. You just got to take a closer look at that team.
Stars at Red Wings. Stars are Red Wings are a home dog plus 124. I loved the Detroit Red Wings beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in Detroit right after the Detroit Lions beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in Detroit. That was cool. I think the Wings keep it going. I love the Wings at plus 124 home dog. The over-under in that is 6.5. I definitely like the over if you've watched Dallas play lately, and the Wings, they give up a lot of goals. Kim, do you have a pick in that one?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm going Red Wings. I'm gonna go Detroit in this one. I'm going gut feeling here, but I do feel like Detroit takes that one away.
All the good karma Detroit's got going on. Rico.
Yeah, Dallas has a bit of a handful of road games in a row, in a few night span. So it is definitely a Detroit spot. Probably take a look at some props in this game, but you never know with Ottinger and net, you might want to just kind of try and steal the game. I don't know about.
I don't think Ottinger is going to play. He was hurt with us in our game. He wasn't even on the bench.
Wedgwood got the back-to-back over the weekend.
Wedgwood got the back-to-back, but Ottinger, they pulled him from the game on the bench. He wasn't even sitting for the rest of the game. So something's going on with Ottinger.
I think he's been banged up a bunch this year. He's missed some more time. I think it is going to be Wedgwood, or they bring up their other guy,
Matt Murray. Matt Murray had a shutout.
Matt Murray.
Is it Matt or Matthew? I think it's Matthew.
It's Matt Murray. It's not that Matt Murray, but it's Matt Murray.
Yeah. No, but he was
great.
Other
Matt Murray. Yeah, it might be Matt Murray. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Occupancy. I couldn't think of their third goalie. Occupancy, why don't you speak on it? Rico, did you finish your thought? I'm sorry, did you finish your thought?
Yeah, I'm just saying, at first thought, I like Detroit at home here.
Yeah, good karma, Detroit. Occupancy.
I like Detroit Sunday. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, no, just checking. No, Tampa was coming off a back-to-back. They had a nice win in Buffalo on Saturday. So I think maybe Tampa, they still beat Tampa Bay, and that's great, but it's not like they were playing a team on rest, so I don't want to give Detroit too much credit here. Though, Dallas, as Rico says, on this long road trip, if it's Wedgwood, actually either way, I'd be looking at a Detroit team total over here. The money line is always a good bet, if you want to just win outright, but we're probably going to get a 2.5 for Detroit as an underdog. And as long as it's not too pricey, I could see Detroit scoring 3 goals. So we're going with a Detroit team total over 2.5 here.
Perlo.
My favorite pick here would probably be first period over 1.5.
Okay.
I think both teams are. Yeah, I like, or both teams to score first period or something like that. First glance, that's what I think I would go with.
Okay, let's move on to this.
I don't know who's going to win the whole game, but I don't know. But
okay, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Sorry, Steve. Senators at the resurgent Senators at the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens are a home dog plus 124. I think that's rightfully so. The Sens have been looking good since Mr. Pinto. By the way, Mr. Pinto is from Long Island. Is he not?
Yes,
He's
I've
from
actually seen
LA.
him play on Long Island. My friend is actually in a league that Shane Pinto and Sonny Milano play in. And my bud actually played against him in like the league there.
So the Sens are 3-6-1 in their last 10, but they have won one in a row, and I think they've won 3 of their last, or 4 or 2 of their last. Anyway, they've been 2 of their last 3 they've won or whatever. So yeah, thank you, Andrew. Andrew, by the way, Andrew Beauchesne. Andrew, look who's on the show. Andrew's been asking me to have you on the show, Kim, a lot. By the way, Kyle just scored to make it 5-2. We still have some live games. Obviously, the Canucks have been beating the Blackhawks pretty convincingly. I think that was Boogstad, by the way. So I like the Ottawa Senators. What do you like, Kim, Ottawa or Montreal? It's a plus 120 home dog over under 6.5.
Montreal's home game, right?
Yeah, they're a plus 120 home dog.
It's hard to play in that arena. I've been in the Bell Center. I will say, I don't know why I'm just going gut. I'm gonna say Montreal takes this, and they just had the call up of the young kid, I think the defenseman. They just called him up, so it's gonna be. I forget.
Arber Xhekaj back in the NHL.
It's a very hard name to pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try.
Xhekaj, good old Wi-Fi. Yep, you just call him Wi-Fi, Kim. No one will give you a hard time.
They just called him up. I think he's gonna be a shakeup. I think it's gonna be interesting. I say Montreal.
Yeah, there you go. Home money. That's plus money at home. Rico.
Yeah, Ottawa's played a bunch of games in the last few nights too, so I'm leaning Montreal here, even though Jake Allen's in net. It's either going to be like 10 goals, 11 goals combined between these two teams tomorrow night, or it's going to be Montreal saying, let's play good for Jake Allen because we want to trade him at the deadline for something for our future. So it's hard to tell, but Montreal, I think, in that spot, coming off that freaking 9-goal Boston performance that they let in, and Jake Allen's going to try and solidify it a little bit. And like Kim said, Montreal's a different team at the Bell Center. They play good home games in front of their fans. I mean, the effort's going to be there at home for Montreal. It's just few extra games in a few nights for Ottawa. It might be a spot where you take Montreal there leading up to the All-Star break. I mean, Ottawa is going right back home to play the Bruins Rangers the next couple nights. So
that's rough.
It's a rough stretch. I mean, they need the points in Montreal, but man, I mean, Montreal wants to play at home. It's a home and home kind of series. If it was in Ottawa, I'd probably take the Sens, but if it's in Montreal, I'm probably going to go the Habs there. Especially the Sens are favored by quite a bit, I think, if you're a betting side. So I'm not willing to bet that type of line on the Sens.
Yeah, the Montreal is plus 120. This is I think these are FanDuel, and the Senators are minus 142.
Yeah,
FanDuel or DraftKings, same difference. Go ahead, Occupancy.
I think, just as you were saying, Beard, I think this is priced wrong. I mean, I don't think Ottawa should be the favorite here. A couple good games, and you still got to look at the whole season. But I'll probably end up passing on the side. I like the over 6.5 here. Both teams can score goals, and what we see in Sunday with Ottawa and Philly, Philly's an under team too, and if Philly can get Ottawa over the total, and Boston scored 9 themselves in Montreal, so let's go with an over 6.5 here.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Perlo.
Ottawa just beat Montreal 6-2 their last game. Montreal is going to come out hard here. I agree with Occupancy. I can't take Ottawa at -144. If the line changes, I think Ottawa will win this game, but Montreal is really tough at home. So I like the over too. I think that Montreal is going to want to get those goals back after getting shellacked by Ottawa the last game. And I don't think Montreal is ever going to be able to shut anybody down. So if they're going to win, they're going to win with goals. So I like the over. I like over 6.5.
I'm going to do one final pick from this game, and then we're going to move on to Tampa Philly. And there's no favorite in the Tampa Philly. I like a goal scoring prop for Brady Tkachuk to score his 20th goal of the season. So whatever money you're getting on that would be interesting. I think he's going to hit that. He's been really playing well for them, and I think Pinto being back in the lineup helps them. Lightning at Flyers. Philly's coming off the 2 in a row, and I just think this is an absolute bad matchup for a team that doesn't like to play defense in the Tampa Bay Lightning this year. I like Philly. Kim.
Oh man, this is tough. I get
Over
another
under
Metro
6.5,
team.
by the way, but no favorite. Over under 6.5.
Who I want to win is Tampa, via standings wise. But it's tough because
Philly at home too.
yeah, no, the Lightning aren't the team they obviously used to be with the Cups. I mean, they still got some stellar players, but I think I'm gonna go Philly on this one.
Yeah, they're definitely missing Chernak and Sergachev too. I mean, that's hurting their big time. You can't be missing your basically your third and fourth defenseman.
Philly's been getting whooped, and if you know when it's like with Waugh, like this is Tortorella's team, you know he's gonna come at them hard. So it's like they better win, honestly.
Well, especially because he used to coach the Tampa Bay Lightning too, right? I think he always does. I would love to see what his splits are against his former teams with a good team. So. What a goal by Boogstad, by the way. Rico, what do you think in this? What do you think of this game?
Yeah, it's a tricky game. 4 games in 6 nights for both these teams. 3 games in 4 nights for both these teams. But I like Philly because they're at home here. So I mean, without taking a little bit of a deeper look, which I'll probably do tomorrow, I probably like the Flyers here. They're in a spot too where they're at home against the Lightning, then they go to Detroit Thursday, then they're back home against the Bruins on Saturday. So this is the end of kind of a bit of a homestand before they take off to Detroit for a quick trip.
Sorry about that.
I think might be a good spot for Detroit on Thursday, but I mean, maybe a draw here. I don't think it's going to be a shootout, but looking at it right now, I think Philly.
Okay. Occupancy, go ahead.
Yeah, just quick stepping back to the Ottawa-Montreal. Shout out to Andrew and IceX. They called out the draw in the chat, and I think that could be a good look for tomorrow's game with Ottawa and Montreal. The draw, Philly-Tampa here. I don't want to jump on and start talking NHL futures and mid-season grade reports and all this, but a couple people I know in the space, we're kind of been waiting for Philly's downfall, and I don't know if I agree with that. I think Philly, Tortorella has gotten them in good shape, but some of these character losses as of late are really concerning. I mean, how do you give up? You have a 1-goal lead on a Sunday, and you let Ottawa come into your barn and take that. You don't even get a point out of it.
Do you think that the Shane Pinto thing helped Ottawa though? I
think Ottawa's playing free. I think they know they're kind of low. They're their skilled players are coming to play, and when you play like that, Tarasenko's getting on the board again. You know, but I don't want to think that Philly's going to fall out. But if they are, it might be happening around now. So a -110 on both sides to me usually means a coin toss type game. The books don't even know who's going to win if they're not favoring someone. So for me, I'd have to pass on the side and then lean under 6.5 if we can get a good price.
Okay, awesome. Perlo.
Well, the concerning part about Philadelphia is that they've allowed so many goals in the last 2 games. It's not something they've been doing for a while, which tells me their defense is tired. They came off the Western road trip, and any team usually is tired after that, and their defense is not spectacular on paper. So then they play Ottawa, and they fell apart in the third. So now you get a little bit of rest, and you got a slower Tampa Bay team. The thing that I like here, and I'm probably going to take Philly, but here's why. If I have this correct, yeah, Tampa Bay just lost their first game after a 5-game winning streak. And I almost always fade a team that loses after a large winning streak over 4 games. So I'm going to fade Tampa Bay and take Philadelphia here, who, by the way, also had their own 5-game winning streak, and they lost to Colorado. Now they lost again after that. I don't know what I do with the second game with Tampa, but I will take them. They lost again after that, and they lost, and then they lost again. That's what I'm trying to say. And that usually is what happens. So I think Philadelphia, certainly after giving up 12 goals in their last 2 games, I can't see that happening again against Tampa Bay. And I think Tampa Bay losing that game after a 5-game winning streak, if I'm getting plus money on Philly, I take them. So I'm taking Philly.
So Perlo and I are Philly truthers, and we're not convinced they're out of it. I just want to share this with you guys before we go to the next one, just because it's sweet. So this is Mr. Boogstad, Minnesota's own, right? Little top shelf magic there. I think this is Logan. What a pass there. Anytime we can show Pittsburgh getting worked, I love it. Next game. The next game is I'm so sorry, guys. I lost my place because I was too giddy. We're finally getting back over to this game. I'm not even going to spend any time on. Blue Jackets plus 300. They're going to crush the Oilers. I'm going to bet against the Oilers every fucking game until they lose. Go Blue Jackets. I fucking hate the Oilers. All right. Yeah. They tanked for a decade, Kim. They tanked for a decade. I can't root for them. I can't root for their douchey, sketchy owner, and I can't root for them. So I just can't. I hate them.
But the Oilers are going to win.
Blue Jackets.
Yeah, but look who's in net for Columbus.
Who is in net?
Elvis Burley. Elvis?
Is it Elvis?
No, it's like Tarasov.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it even better. Go ahead, Kim. Would you like the Oilers all day? Rico? I'm
it's
sure
Oilers.
you're on the Oilers.
It's Oilers. I have no doubts.
If Merzlikas was in net, I'd probably give him a better chance than this guy with a 4.08 goals against average.
Ooh.
Another reason the Jackets are winning.
6 and 5 in his last 2 games.
Yo, I'm putting Oilers. You're against Connor McDavid, Draisaitl. Nah. It's gonna be Oilers.
By the way, I don't think McDavid has scored in like the last 3 games. Like I don't think he has a
cold streak.
Because he's too busy playing defensively, Beard. That's how they're going to win the cup.
Do you know he's got an 87% freaking defensive rating this year? He's almost elite.
Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking watches Edmonton outside of Edmonton. Nobody fucking gives a shit.
Defensively, insane. Anyways,
occupancy. Who do you like in this one?
If odds weren't in the picture, I'd have to go with the Oilers. But I can't. I'm not going to pay -400 for that. So I'd have to
-380. But yeah, the over-under is 7. If it's an under game, I like the Blue Jackets. Actually, the Oilers haven't hit the over in like their last 6 games, I think. So
yeah, the defensive game is good.
Yeah.
They are playing good D. That's why they're winning games like 3-1. Perlo, we know you like the Oilers. We're not going to waste any time on this game.
Oh no, not necessarily. Actually, if there's a dead spot, this is the dead spot for the Oilers. I think that they could easily go and just kind of flub this game. I think it's possible.
I mean, they could do an Islanders and just face a bad team and lose to them. So you know
they've been
what?
known to do that, but I'm not going to try to bet that because they're on such a run. You already mentioned what I'm going to bet. I'm betting the under 7.
I'm taking every team that's playing the Oilers until they lose. Plus 300. This is a good one to put $10.
I hope you're not putting $100 a shot on those.
No, I'm not putting any money on anything. I'm just saying, if I'm gambling, the Oilers are going to lose. By the way, the NHL record for wins is 18 in a row by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 92-93. Who won the cup that year? Oh, the Montreal Canadiens. Worst thing to happen to the Oilers is going on this big, long winning streak. Okay, especially when it really doesn't matter. Sabres, Ducks. Sabres I like the Sabres. The Ducks don't look good right now. Kim, how about you?
Yeah, to me, it's gonna be Sabres. Honestly, it's a pet. Who's the home team?
The Ducks are the home team. They're plus 136 home dog. Yeah, and the over under it.
A little in their favor, but I mean, that's definitely a home ice advantage, But honestly, I do think the Sabres are gonna be the better team. I mean, Anaheim is that team who I feel can do an upset, but I feel like it would still going to be the Sabres.
Yeah, I just wish we would see that Anaheim team we saw early in the season that was beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and just beautiful play from them. I talked to Pat Verbeek at the Hockey Hall of Fame and was just like, man, I'm such a big fan of what you're doing there. I hope you guys really – I'm such a huge Leo Carlsson fan. I can't wait. So that'll be awesome to see how they form. They're just not there yet. They could get if they add Calabrini or Yzerman or a top 3 pick, which it looks like they're going to. They're not far away, and I do think they're probably going to trade Zegras. I wonder that's going to happen.
I kind of hope they do. I feel like he could have a much better career on a different team.
Yeah, well, like the Islanders. If you don't have to give up much for him.
Yeah. I will not say no to Zegras coming here.
Yeah, well, he's in New York. He's an upstate New York guy. He grew up a Rangers fan, though, didn't he? It'd be even better. If he played for the Islanders then. Occupancy, go ahead.
I like the Sabres here. Let's go Buffalo.
Rico, I'm sorry. You came back in. Like
no worries. I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo too. Probably the under. Neither of these teams can really score. I think Buffalo just gives up a little bit less offensively than Anaheim does. But probably a Buffalo and an under. It's going to be not the biggest eventful game, I don't think.
Perlo, finish her off with the Sabres, and then we have the final game of the night. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm not taking Anaheim to do anything. Like, can't even find a spot for them to win, to tell you the honest truth. They look absolutely horrid, so I got to go with Buffalo.
Yeah, I've been watching and reading your tweets, and you've been really down on Anaheim, and I know that you and me and Occupancy probably watch them the most because we're on the West Coast, and they do have Carlson back. They haven't found their game again. And defensively, I do think losing Drysdale hurt them too. I mean, I think he's played very well for the Flyers, and I've been really impressed with his skating and stuff. So it was a good move for them because they're not in win now mode, and the Flyers they're in a little different. I think that Drysdale was a good pickup for them. So the final game, 9 games tomorrow. The final game, the Rangers are at the Sharks. I don't want to overthink this. The Rangers are totally getting their ass kicked by the Sharks at plus 200. I'm putting money on plus 280.
Go Sharks!
Go ahead, Kim. Go ahead. I just did that out of respect for Kim. I picked
because
the Sharks.
You know what? It would be awesome. Let's go Sharks. Sharks over Rangers tomorrow. Let's see it happen.
Yeah, plus 280, Kim. We're on it. We bet.
Yo,
We bet.
I'll put the bet in. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, $10 on the
You know what?
Sharks.
They've been on a little bit of a cold streak lately, the Rangers. I mean, they did come back last night. It was suddenly like, whoop, there's the Rangers. But, you know what? Who cares? Sharks, let's go.
I had to check
And
the
totally
chat because
not
I knew Isaacs
not
was
lying.
going to be on Ducks tomorrow for sure. No doubt about it. Isaacs will be all over the Ducks tomorrow. Anyway, sorry. I had to bring that
Well,
up.
hey, the Sharks did get Logan Couture back, and they won the first game he was back.
That's
I'm
true.
telling.
They're
Sorry,
not
Jordan.
doing-
Jordan
they're not doing
Sunshine
too
says
bad
it's
against
rude.
Anaheim.
Jordan, understand that my wife.
It's not rude. It's
My
true.
wife
The Sharks.
is a Rangers fan, so Kim and I are going to start a support group for people that are married to Rangers fans. We have to deal with their delusional asses.
Facts.
Yeah, the Rangers, by the way, are 4-5-1 in their last 10. They did win against the Ducks yesterday.
Yeah, they were down, and then suddenly it was like, wee! I just saw, like, because I
Yeah.
have Chris Kreider on fantasy, and I just saw Chris Kreider so, and I'm like, oh, they're back.
Yeah. And the Sharks are 2-7-1, but they won their last game. Logan Couture. Oh, here's my wife talking. I'm a big talker, but Logan Couture. Logan Couture is a big ad. I mean, that is a great player, an unbelievable center back in your lineup, and that can make a difference. He may not score a ton of goals, but he cancels out. He's a very good defensive player, and I don't overlook that. And like Kim said, the Rangers have been playing kind of shitty as of late. So, Rico, what do you got in this?
I feel like the Sharks are like the Chicago Blackhawks lately. They're like an NFL team up 20-3 with like 2.5 minutes left, and they're just playing prevent defense. It's like they might score on you once in a while, but they're not going to win. So, I mean, one thing they can do is just try not to get blown out, which seems like both teams have been kind of doing, not getting embarrassed out there, but to win outright, that's scary. But man, Perlo thinks that the Rangers are going to regress a little bit. Don't tell your wife, Beard, or anything, but
She's listening to the show live and chiming in. So
I know.
fine.
That's why I said that. But the Rangers are going to kill them tomorrow night. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah. No, hopefully for Rangers fans, because on tomorrow's show, if you lose, we're going to let you have it. Just like you let Islanders have it when you go to MSG and you hear the whistles of Potvin sucks. Like I said, that's a great rivalry.
Years. Get over it.
Oh, occupancy. Who do you like here? You got to go with your home Sharks now, right?
Well, I agree with you, Beard. I think Couture back in the lineup really adds, an important piece. He makes good passes. He's a leader out there. And I think even if he doesn't end up on the score sheet, he makes a big difference. So one look I think I have for this game is the Sharks plus 1.5. We're going to get a nice price for that. And the Sharks have covered the plus 1.5 in 4 of the last 5 games, not including tonight. We'll see what happens. But with that big of a favorite, the Rangers win, they win. But the Sharks can keep it a 1-goal game. That'd be good with me.
Yeah, by the way, the game that occupancy is referencing is LA Kings, who have not been playing well themselves. They have 20 shots on goal to the Sharks 7, but it is 0-0. So just getting a guy like that in the lineup can really help.
I want Stupet.
Kim, you're a cat person then, huh? You're a cat person. You have a dog.
I actually have a dog, but my brother has 3.
Okay.
But I love all animals, so
yeah, no, me too. I just can only live with dogs. So.
I'm sorry, Rico. Your cat looks like a s'more. It's so cute. It looks like a little s'more.
Yeah. Oh,
Rico, you have 3. You have 3 cats.
2 now.
2. Okay. Oh, 2 now. Yeah. Sad face.
But this cat looks like a little s'more, and it's so cute.
Oh, that's a beautiful looking cat. Yeah, no, I haven't seen him before. Yeah.
Oh,
occupancy. Did you finish your thoughts on? I've seen that cat a bunch. He walks his butthole in front of the camera all the time. That cat's always on stream. Rico's cats are on the show more than you are, Perlo. We can see his cats better.
Yeah. The one time I get my lighting perfect and I lose my freaking lighting.
Oh,
Anyway,
dude, it looked so good too. It was the best you've looked in a week. It was so nice. Anyway, I appreciate you, Perlo. Did you get to finish your thoughts on the Sharks game? I'm sorry.
I did. I just
Plus 1.5,
like the Sharks
yeah.
plus 1.5. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Perlo, how about you?
I wish I just can't do it with Kakkonen and net. That guy is just terrible. The Rangers aren't
in net
scoring very
tonight.
much. Oh, is he in net tonight? Is he in
Blackwood's
net
in
tonight?
tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Blackwood was in.
No, Kakkonen,
Wow.
man.
You seriously, LA shot 20 shots?
This shows you how
LA got one
how
goal
much
on
people are
20.
respecting LA right now.
Yeah, LA fans were like, when we were trashing on Lane, they were like, yo, now you know our pain right now. LA fans
Well-
they have 20 shots of net to the Sharks 8.
Against Kakkonen.
I will say this, you guys. Oh, what?
That is,
Rico's
that
cat
is
just decided to
Calgary
get involved.
level. That is Calgary level shit.
Totally did. Come on.
Okay.
on,
All right.
let's
Well, I mean, if Blackwood's going to be a net, I might go with occupancy here because the Rangers just don't seem engaged at all, and that's why I took them to regress in the second half. What it looks like to me that Laviolette is really grinding them to play a solid 5-on-5 game, and they are totally resisting it, which they have done all along. They just want to win on the power play, when they want to float on the perimeter. That's what the Rangers have been doing for 2 years now, and everybody thinks that they're a great team when they're not. If you don't
I
Well,
think
I'll
that
say
they're
this,
not bought into his system.
Well,
they
yeah.
won't. They won't. They don't seem to want to buy into this system. And like the Oilers didn't until Knobloch came out. For some reason, he had the magic potion to teach
I'll
them
say
to win
this.
3-1.
The Rangers have been getting to the interior and higher danger scoring chances a whole lot more. Listen to Mr. Valaquette. Unbelievable on MSG. They've been doing a great job this year. The problem with them more than anything is they're very streaky. Zibanejad, streaky scorer. And all these other guys, Kakko's been out, Lafreniere, they're not consistent enough scorers. They're getting goals from Panarin and Kreider and the usual suspects. They're just not. And Adam Fox, one of the smartest player in the NHL, he has to be because he can't skate for shit, but he's unbelievably intelligent. No, that's not me saying that. He's not a great skater. Listen to top guys, but he's.
No, I just love hearing it. It's just
I love my fantasy team. I love him. I think he's
I
a
have
great
my
player.
fantasy too, bro.
He's not a great
he's-
skater, you're right.
But he's so smart. He makes up for it with his hockey IQ. He's one of the. If he's not the smartest defenseman in the NHL, I'd be. He's right there. And they're getting scoring from those guys, but Keandre Miller's fall off a little bit, and some of their secondary scoring. And they miss Hedl a lot. That guy is super skilled.
He's just was training in Czechia. I think he's coming back.
Okay, there you go.
I saw some
Anyways,
Rangers fan.
Trocheck and Kreider have been doing fantastic. Zibanejad is still playing this perimeter game that I see anyways. Panarin's playing a little better. There's been a couple guys that have stepped up and listened to, but you got to have a full team, and the full team still isn't listening, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know why
they're better. They're better than they were last year, but they're still not good enough.
I agree with Water King over here. We talk about it with my fiance all the time. I don't know why they hype up Keandre Miller so much.
They're better with him in the lineup. He was unbelievable at the beginning of the year. His play has fallen off a little bit, and he's just not.
With Trouba. That's why.
Well,
anybody plays with Trouba.
He doesn't
Trouba's
have that, how I was talking about Engvall with no
Trouba's an
physicality.
anchor.
Keandre Miller doesn't have any physicality either, and especially as a defenseman, that's something you need.
But Trouba's an anchor on anybody's line. He is so overrated, it's ridiculous. So if you got Miller there, then you're asking Miller to be the best defenseman on the team.
Well, I want to end on a positive note. We always do a round table. What are your thoughts for the next thing? I'm just gonna finish. I'm just gonna say an unbelievable hire by the and we'll go around. We'll go me, Rico, occupancy, and then Perlo, and we'll finish with big time Kim in the Crease. Thank you so much for joining us, Kim. IslesGirl3 on Twitter. We so appreciate you. My final thought is what an unbelievable hire by Lou Lamoriello. I love this Patrick Waugh hiring for the New York Islanders. If I didn't already love the Islanders and root for them because of Kim, it's an awesome thing. So super happy. By the way, San Jose scored. That's why Kim.
That's why I reacted like that. I was like, no.
Sutherland. They're not as bad as it. I'm telling you,
yeah.
I'm going to give it to you fucking Rangers fans that are in here talking shit. Come back tomorrow when you lose when I bet plus 2-3 on the
high five, Beard, high fives.
Yay. Oh yeah, okay, go.
Yeah. Otherwise, Beard, otherwise.
Oh yeah, I figured it out. Okay, this is your military left, Jeremiah. Okay, Rico, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, I'm wondering if Corey Perry's going to suit up before the All-Star game for the Oilers. But one thing you're going to get a guy for the Oilers is a guy that's going to produce in the playoffs. I think it's unreal that he signed in Edmonton. And I think a lot more teams than people thought were interested in Perry. I mean, he did his time. So he got drunk and messed up, made an advance at an NBC employee or whatever. I mean, that he's done his time. He's went right to Bettman about it. And he was able to sign with whatever team he wants. But I think a lot of teams would love to have Corey Perry. So he's going to play off the rest of the season, and then the playoffs are going to come around, and people are going to be watching the playoffs and be like, oh, Corey Perry plays for the Oilers. Oh, I totally forgot about that. And then he's going to be dominating, and he's just going to be a big plus in the bottom six for that Oilers team. Probably play on the second power play, but he's gonna help Edmonton. And what all the best for him, man. The guy's
losing the final. Help Edmonton losing the final.
Huh?
Corey Perry lost 3 straight finals. If Edmonton makes the final, I guarantee they lose.
Picking up for the guy, but he's been in 4 of the last 6 Stanley Cup finals, and people are going to seem like is he going to be a distraction in the room and stuff like that? But no, he's been on 4 separate teams in the last how many years? The guy's going to fit seamlessly on that team with the Oilers, McDavid. And he'll take some of the smoke off McDavid a little bit too. Perry would be doing some of the interviews and stuff there. So, that's the thing I'm just kind of interested in seeing how he fits on that team and stuff. So that's kind of my thought because we didn't talk about it tonight. So I know you love the Oilers, Beard, and I'm glad.
Well, if you go to any other fucking channel on the internet, Rico, there's a whole goddamn thing called Oilers Nation that have 900 shows about the Oilers every day. So you can go watch those ball lickers because they're on all the time. I'm just saying, like, if you want to talk Oilers, it's not hard to find them. They're everywhere. The Daily Face-Off chat has been invaded by Oiler fans. And
we talked about Patrick Waugh. We never talked about Perry. What else is in news? What else is interesting?
I'm just giving you shit. No, Rico, we did not talk about the Corey Perry thing because we had Kim on, and I really wanted to talk about the Patrick Waugh thing. I thought it was a bigger story. I don't think it's a bad signing. I didn't mention it until the end of the night. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad signing. It's a good signing. I would have liked to seen him go to Toronto for the chaos, but it is what it is. Occupancy, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, just generally speaking, it's awesome to be on the panel. Thanks so much, Beard, for hosting. It was good to, talk hockey. Is my favorite sport by far. And, a lot of different opinions and different fanhoods and everything coming together. So that part's really nice. And I'm going to end with a hot take. And I'm going to call, the biggest untalked about signing for a team trade, Nikita Zadorov on the Nucks. This guy is balling out right now. 3 hits tonight, 12 minutes of ice time, holding that team down to a shutout, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you get these blockbuster trades here and there, but how about bringing in a big defenseman who locked down the
San Jose just scored again, by the way.
So we'll try that one, see how that one settles in. But stoked about the Waugh signing. I mean, that's unbelievably good, and I think the Islanders go on a run, get back in the playoff hunt, and good stuff.
Do it, Perlo. Go ahead. Final thoughts.
You remember when Zadorov got traded to Vancouver? I said it might have been one of the best trades of the year because I just love that trade. That was fantastic. So I'm with you there, occupancy. As far as the Perry signing, I think it's fantastic for the Oilers. And you were wrong. Again, I mentioned this before. You said that the Oilers tanked for 10 years. No, they didn't.
7.
They actually thought they were.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
That's not true.
Go ahead, Perlo.
They actually
I
thought they
final
were
thoughts.
Give it to
good.
him, Perlo. Give it to him.
It's actually
Play the
worse.
piano while you're saying this.
It's
Yeah.
actually worse than what you're saying. They actually thought they were good for 5 of those years. They didn't actually tank. So it took them 5 years to actually tank. Anyways, yeah, they were horrible. And nobody has beat the shit out of the Oilers more than me, as you already know. But I'm telling you now, the Oilers are going to be in the finals this year. That's it.
And lose, hopefully. We'll see. All right. Perlo calls it on the 22nd of January. The Oilers are making the finals. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
All
about
right.
that take. I don't know about that take.
Big time Timmy Kim. Final thoughts.
That's a big hot take in my opinion. But I'll just like go off with Zadorov. I know the Islanders were looking into him for a little bit, possibly to trade for him because of how well he's been doing with the Nucks. Just going off from there, Perry signing, I thought the Oilers did a nice pickup there, honestly. But I mean, Islanders standpoint, obviously, I will say as an Islanders fan, this has reinvigorated my hope and my passion with my team with this Wah signing, because it's exactly what we needed. I actually I'm a big optimistic person. Like always see the glass half full. And I went off on Twitter after the Chicago game saying like, I'm at my breaking point with this team. I can't stand this any longer. So honestly, this signing came at a time where it was most needed. I'm glad to see Lou step up and do changes that were necessary. This fan base is reinvigorated, excited, and we're ready to, as Wah said, make every game a playoff game. Every game is now from here counts so much. And the fact that our head coach now knows that he's willing to do all he can to get us there, it means so much. And to hear press conferences that are actually press conferences, we have an idea of where this team is going. New York Islander fans, we're excited. We're ready to go. And I'm excited to support this team going forward. And I'm hoping that we're able to make playoffs.
I so appreciate you coming on, Kim. Occupancy is so with you as an Islanders fan.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, if and when he can, Occupancy is going to be with us every Monday. We're mostly a gambling show because of Perlo and Rico and their amazing ability to do that. But Occupancy is pretty darn good himself. I am just a talking head who likes to throw stupid stuff out there. But I love hockey and I love engaging with the fans. And tonight we had the biggest show we've had since we started this formulation of NHL Nightly in October. I really appreciate everybody. Andrew, you asked me so many times, when's Kim coming on? And she's on, and you were late to the show. So go back and watch because she gave us some great stuff. I, of course, tweeted out last year her thing about Lane Lambert saying she didn't think it was a great move because it really wasn't a change in voice. We're now seeing that didn't work out. It's really unfortunate to Lane. I think the big thing was he cut his fucking hair. If he'd just kept his hair, dude, you didn't respect it. You should have respected it while you had it. And I'm just saying, you should have kept the long hair. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. We will see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. Peace.